Hey, I'm Shannon Buhera, and if you're even slightly considering possibly starting a pediatric sleep consulting side hustle sometime in the next year, I want to share with you 5 things you need to know before starting a pediatric sleep consulting side hustle. Let's dive right into them. Number one, this is not a passive income opportunity. This is a small business opportunity. Yes, in comparison to most other business ventures, starting a sleep consulting business can have a much lower financial investment, lower risk. It can even be done in much less time than other businesses, but it is still a business. You'll need to commit time, energy, and focus to learning how to help families and becoming a sleep expert, learning how to create an offer, how to market and sell that offer. Then you'll have to show up for these families. So whether that's through writing sleep plans, hopping on calls with them, tech support. I mean, really, as the boss, you'll get to decide what your services look like, but it's not passive. And it's not as easy as just get certified this month and then next month you'll be making money. If any program is trying to sell you that dream, just be very cautious. It's not a passive income. It doesn't take just 1 or 2 hours a week in order to be successful. Number two, you need to be an entrepreneur first, then a sleep consultant. As a business owner, you cannot make an impact without an income first. Being a damn good sleep consultant is not enough anymore either. Far too often, I see new sleep consultants think that they can just get their certification, put up that website, tell their friends, maybe some family, and hope that word gets out. And new clients will just start coming to their website and enrolling in their program. Look, maybe like you're unique, you're like really well connected. And if your friends can be pushing hundreds of people to your website on a regular basis, maybe that will work for you. But if you are anything like me, you're just a normal person, your personal network isn't going to be what really brings you tons of clients. You are going to want to do what I did, which was learn how to build an online presence using social media so that I could widen my reach from the comfort of my couch. I knew I could help families with sleep, but I didn't know how to get people to hire me. I became really invested in learning how to be a successful entrepreneur, and that's where the momentum and success started for me. So that's why I recommend you do the same. Focus on business from the beginning, not just the sleep stuff. Okay, number three, sleep consultants are not needed. It's a luxury service. Okay, this took me a year to figure out. Let me break it down so that you can understand this from the start, or really before you even start, right? I like to think of it like this. So imagine you and 2 of your girlfriends are all talking about how you want to lose a little bit of weight. Let's say you want to lose 10 pounds. Your plan is to start following Instagram and YouTube health gurus to learn healthy sleep recipes and workouts that you can do from home. Okay, so let's say your strategy is you're going to do it on your own with a little bit of free help, right? Then your friend, she's got a different plan. She's going to start going to the gym and doing Zumba and strength training classes. She's going to buy a book to follow when it comes to nutrition, right? Then there's your other friend. She's going to hire a personal trainer and work with a nutrition coach one-on-one to help her lose the 10 pounds. So same goal, 3 different strategies really of how you're going to achieve the goal. So can all 3 of you lose 10 pounds successfully? Yeah, absolutely. But who is the weight loss journey going to be easiest for? Who is most likely to lose the weight fastest with the least amount of stress? It's probably going to be friend 3 with all that individualized help, right? It's going to be easier for her than you, who was going to try to figure it out on your own, piecing together free resources, right? Now let's bring this back to sleep consulting. No one needs to hire a sleep consultant, just like no one needs to hire a personal trainer. So why do people hire sleep consultants? We make the process of achieving sleep goals easier, faster, and less stressful. We are the personal trainers of childhood sleep. And this understanding completely shifted my perspective. Not everyone needs me. Not everyone has a budget for my services. I'm not gatekeeping any information. People can solve their sleep challenges on their own if they want to, right? You can go take a $50 course if they want to. This also meant that I felt much more comfortable charging my value. I realized that I was trying to sell my personal training to people who could not even afford the gym membership, right? And I started viewing my social media as where I could help people for free, my TikTok, my Instagram. I answered sleep questions, creating high value content, helping everyone. But if you want my one on one individualized services, well, I started charging $7.97. I spent a lot of time learning how to attract leads, create messaging that helped them to really understand the value, and how to sell my luxury service. So, with that, my advice to you before you get started or as you're just getting started is to know that the type of family that can afford a $300, $400 sleep consultant, they can also afford a $600 or $700 sleep consultant. So don't undervalue yourself. And also, you can hit your income goals a lot faster when you charge between $500 to $1,000 and forget about $40 guides or $100 courses. Number 4, a sleep consulting business absolutely can bring you freedom, right? So I did say, yeah, it's not a passive income business, but it can bring you freedom. So let me talk about that. Some people decide not to invest in themselves and in their dream of starting a side hustle or a small business like this because it feels too risky or they're consumed by the what ifs. And look, I get it. I had to borrow from our small savings account that was supposed to go towards next year's family vacation in order to invest in my certification. But I want you to also know what's possible. We've already talked about it not being super easy, it not being passive, but women are out there achieving levels of freedom just a year or two into their sleep consulting businesses beyond their wildest dreams. I know because some of them are my clients. Financial freedom is definitely relative, right? Of what that means to you. So let's talk about what is a realistic goal? Because I do see sleep consultant certification programs out there talking about all different amounts of money you can make. And of course, it depends on what you put into it, but a realistic goal to work towards during your first years in business, especially those of you that plan to really do this as a part time side hustle, finding 10 to 15 hours each week that you can be investing. A great goal is to be trying to generate 3 to 5K in monthly revenue. Okay, remember I talked about I charge $7.97 for my successful program that I've been selling for years now. Let's say I just get 6 clients in a month. That comes out to $4,782 in revenue, right? So all I need in order to hit that 3 to 5K range is, 4 to 7 clients a month. It's not completely unattainable. Now, if you're trying to hit 10 to 20K months, then you're going to maybe need a different business model, or you need to be working like full-time hours in your business, or it just might take you years to get there. But I want to talk to you about like what's realistic if it's a side hustle the first couple of years, because that's what you need to focus on first anyways, right? But besides financial freedom, what else a sleep consulting business can give you is family first freedom. And this is what first motivated me to get into this business back in 2020. After my maternity leave with my daughter, I really didn't want to go back to my full-time teaching job. I wanted to stay home with her. I wanted to work part-time from home. And I started just doing this as a little side hustle. And I did still need to pay the bills. So I did return to work. I went to my teaching job. I spent nights and weekends working on building this business. And just 1 year later, I was able to quit my teaching job. And just a few months after that, I totally replaced my full-time Washington, D.C. teaching income while just working 15 to 20-hour weeks from home with my daughter. Now, a few years later, I now have a son too, and I'm able to create my work schedule around my family schedule and priorities. To me, that's family first freedom. You truly can build a successful sleep consulting business part-time from home, even if you're a full-time stay-at-home mom or you have another full-time job. or even if you have another small business that you're working on. This is possible for you. It worked for me and works for many other sleep consultants out there. Not every single one is successful, but you can be. And the last one, number 5, I want you to know that not all certification programs are equal. There's a lot out there, sleep consultant certification programs. First, I'm not going to dive deep into this, but some are actual scams. So please do your research, ask your questions, make sure you're not giving someone a bunch of money and then they're going to give you like a copy of one book or something like that. But many focus 95% of their curriculum just on sleep. Okay. Even the successful, well written curriculums that are out there, it's all about sleep. And this ends up with that problem of, the sleep consultant who gets certified. She's on a high. She's ready to take on some clients, help families, make some money, only to figure out pretty quickly that she has no idea how to find clients. And that's why I created my certification program. After growing my own successful sleep consulting business and falling in love with the business and entrepreneurship elements, I started doing business coaching for other sleep consultants. And although many had great success working with me, they kept saying, I wish I learned how to do this months ago, years ago. I wish I learned how to do this from my certification program or when I was getting certified. And I totally agreed with them. It was kind of like they were already going downhill and I was coming like a little too late for them in the process. They could make up the time, but they'd already wasted so much time, energy, and money in starting up their business, but not knowing how to do so in the best way, right? So then we had to backtrack. The program that I did, it was fine, but it did have so many gaps, right? A few in the areas of sleep and many more in the areas of business. And I had to spend years filling in all those gaps. And if we all know that it takes business skills to be successful, then why are programs focusing their curriculum 90 to 95% on just sleep? At Nights and Naps School of Pediatric Sleep and Entrepreneurship, we have the only sleep consultant certification curriculum that is 50% sleep and 50% business. You're learning both over the course of 3 to 6 months so that by the time you're certified, you have a fully operational, profitable business. If you want the fastest, cheapest, easiest way to certification, it's not SPSE. Being a successful sleep consultant is about so much more than a certification. If you want the fastest and easiest way to a profitable sleep consulting business that will give you that financial freedom and that family first freedom that you desire, I have a proven path and I'd love to be your mentor as you begin your journey as a sleep consultant entrepreneur. Apply now to join us for the next cohort at Nights and Naps School of Pediatric Sleep and Entrepreneurship.